what do you call it? What is this thing called? Hotspot. I did that before in the past. It wasn't fun at all. All right. What's up, guys? It's Larry, the mortgage guy, your mortgage insider, and a certified veteran mortgage advisor. And I'm really excited to bring you this class because today we're going to talk about the fees that are required on a VA loan and who has to pay them. So it's a conversation, I believe, that has created a lot of confusion and has, in a way, has created a sort of a stigma or a negative, I guess, perspective on the VA loan in general. And I hope today you will leave this call realizing how awesome the VA loan is, even when it comes to the details of how the fees are set up, right? So, of course, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask it. You can put it in the chat. You can, if you're in the Zoom, you can always unmute yourself, or you can raise your hand, whatever you like, okay? So, again, we are going to be talking about the VA loan, specifically about the seller fees, right? And we already have people rolling in, so I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next slide. And it looks like I get to click here to select the slides. I'm going to go ahead and go full screen here. So again, welcome to Veteran Mortgage Advisor. We do a weekly class every single week on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Central CST, and we're here to serve those who have served. My name is Larry Lee with I'm a Veteran Mortgage Advisor, and I really appreciate you guys being on this call. Okay, now before I get started, I want to ask you guys, whoever's on this call, does anybody here currently work with veterans? You can raise your hand, you can unmute, whatever, but just let me know if you're in Zoom or if you're in the stream. Do you currently work with veterans? Eric says, I do. Thank you very much, Eric. And I know you are a veteran yourself, so thank you for your service. And I would be very appalled if you yourself did not work with veterans. So I'm glad that you see the benefit in that. And of course, anyone is good to work with, but I like the fact that you're indicating that you do work with veterans. Okay. Does anybody else work with veterans? Georgette says, yes, I do. Thank you very much, Georgette. I really appreciate that. Again, anyone else, you can raise your hand. You can unmute yourself, whatever you like. Okay. And I'm going to actually, I'm going to stop share real quick just to see if there's any hands being raised or whatever. Okay. All right. Appreciate it. I'm going to share the screen again. Hopefully I'm sharing the right screen. Let me know if I'm not sharing the right screen, because sometimes I do mess that up. Okay, great. Let's see here. Done. Let me ask you this. Does anybody here on the call want to work with veterans? Like, are you here because you want to work with veterans, or are you just happen to work with veterans, whether you're going to be here or not? Anybody on the call want to raise their hand or comment that they want to work with veterans? Okay, is that Richard? Richard, thank you very much, Richard. I'm going to, and I'm glad you brought that up, boss. And the fact that we're kind of in the same market and everything, it makes this even more intentional. And I want to treat everyone the same no matter what. But because you're local, I might kind of, use anecdotes with you a little bit. Okay, so someone like Richard, who I believe is a good real estate agent. They're in the business. They've been in business for a while, but they want to expand their tool belt. They should be able to grow their business if they were just to focus on veterans. I think with the help with a lender who's also very VA centric. So I'm glad that you're here, and hopefully the people on this call, whether you work with me or someone else, it doesn't matter to me. If you are looking to expand your market or your potential using the VA loan, then I appreciate you guys being here, and hopefully I can give you some guidance on how you can do that. Okay, so I want to ask, could we all say it's fair that veterans deserve the best possible real estate experience based on the sacrifice they made for our country, and we owe it to them to give them that. Does anyone agree with that statement? Can I please see a show of hands? You don't have to answer; just give me a show of hands uh, or chat, and that'd be fine. Okay, perfect. See some hands being raised. There you go. Yep, hands are being raised. Okay, so that makes me feel really good because that means that you guys are in the right call, right? Because that's what we're going to focus on today. Okay, is learning to provide them the best experience. Okay, um, because what we're going to do today is I'm going to, in the next hour or so, teach everyone on this call how to provide the best possible lending and buying and selling experience that we can offer our people who are so deserving of the benefit uh, that I'm going to talk about today. Now, I'm emphasizing selling because I do believe, and please listen, agents, don't hold it against me. I'm just using this based on what I've read and what I've seen and what I've heard. I think sellers, when I say seller, I'm talking about listing agents and selling agents. I think you guys are making it harder for veterans to purchase homes. Okay, and I'm just saying in general, right? And I'm not gonna say why. I'm not gonna guess why. It just feels like the VA loan is not as competitive. So I want to help you understand why the hurdles or the perceived issues or potential problems might be unfounded. And that's what today's class is going to be about. So even though we're about helping the veterans get financed, we're about helping the veterans buy homes, we also should be able to help them get the house sold to them on the seller side. Okay. So I'm going to share with you the techniques that I use that are tried, that are proven, that I've been trained, and I've learned through my years of experience in serving veterans at the highest possible level. So that is my intention today. So please get comfortable, get your pen and paper out, and do me a favor. If you have a question, I don't care what it is. If it's about the VA loan, it doesn't have to be about the VA loan, but if it's about the VA loan, I want to stop and answer your question because I want everyone to leave here fully informed about any question they have about the VA loan. Because again, my job is to help the veterans with this benefit, right? And again, I don't care if you work with me or not. I don't care if you're a loan officer, if you're a client, if you're a real estate agent. It doesn't matter to me. If this class helps one veteran get into a home, then I did my job. That's the way I look at it. Okay. So I appreciate you guys being on this call. Like I said, do not be shy. If you have a question, please feel free to unmute yourself or ask a question, interrupt me. It doesn't matter to me. Okay. My goal is for everyone to leave this call fully informed about the VA loan as much as they can, especially when it comes to the fees. Okay. So, like I said, I want everyone to have a deep understanding as to what we're committed to, and that is why we're here. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and move on. Enough, I guess, pitching the VA loan in general. My bio, I'm a certified veteran mortgage advisor. I'm a branch manager of the Larry Lee team at Van Dyke Mortgage. I'm licensed since 2016. I always make a joke because I was talking about, I think maybe to my cousin, whatever, about how long my wife's been in the business. I said a couple years, and she looked at me like I was crazy. And she was like, "It's been like 5 years." I'm like, "Holy crap! That means I've been in the business for longer because I'm the one who brought her in." Okay. I have a side hustle as a social media marketing coach and running my own ad agency, Robots LLC. The reason why I bring that up because I am working my ass off to marry the two passions I have, which is social media and mortgages, especially the VA loan, so that you're a part of that effort, right? The reason why I do these videos because I want to use my social media abilities and power and effort and energy to spread the word. Okay. And it would be great if you were to share this with someone or, try to remember the information so you can share with someone that can help. Because even if I don't directly help them, if somehow I help you help someone else, that means I did my job. Okay. I'm licensed in 11 states: Arizona, California, Florida, Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Hampshire, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Texas. Okay. My mission is that I love the mortgage business, but was fed up with the lack of education and information clients were provided during their application process. So I created a first-time homebuyer coaching class for mortgage clients that provides instant access to answers to questions and simple explanations to the mortgage process and how to qualify. And what I mean by that is I'm trying to create content and information that people can access without even interacting with me. I don't care if you don't opt in. I don't care if I know who you are. If you find my content and you consume it and it helps you, that's what I want to provide. Okay. You don't have to you don't have to give me your information, whatever, right? It doesn't matter to me. But I also provide one-on-one coaching for those who want it. But of course, you can't ghost me in that aspect. I can't coach you one-on-one if I don't know who you are. So you do have to engage me in that point, okay? But unlike other loan officers, I made it my passion to coach first-time home buyers on the mortgage process, and that makes all the difference of how I have helped hundreds of people get on the right path to home ownership, with many of them becoming homeowners. And I know a lot of you guys who are regulars, I mean, you show up to a lot of my classes, this is true. I mean, I literally do this four times a week, right? So it is my passion to coach people on the home buying process, okay? And you remind me of many of my smart, successful, and savvy clients who are now homeowners because you are taking the right step on the home purchasing process by educating yourself and being prepared like they did, okay? Again, you're on this call, so that's an example, right? The home buying process is very confusing to most people, but that is why I am here to simplify the process and make sure you're 100% prepared in the home buying process and to become ahead of the competition in this insane market. Like, for example, for my company, we actually provide fully underwritten TBDs, or to be determined pre-approvals. Basically, we can fully underwrite you to the point where as further extent we can get to until we get a property, right? So literally cutting the work in half before you even have a property, okay? And that will make the offers more competitive because you can close faster. On day one, you can offer a loan commitment. Usually they give you 14, 21 days to provide that. We can give it to you on day one. So you can send that with an offer, okay? That is my goal for everyone who I work with, okay? And I think that just makes you more competitive. I'm really proud to be a certified veteran mortgage advisor, which is why I like to show my certificate every single time I do this class, because I earned it, and I actually want to live by the standards that they set, okay? My why. My wife and kids, of course, specifically my son Bruce and Hunter, which are the ones that are pictured below, because they're both on the spectrum for autism. They're both nonverbal autistic children, and I want to help them develop a little bit. So I want to give them ABA therapy, which was recommended to other parents I trust who also have kids that are on the spectrum. They say it was a game changer. So my goal is to create enough resources to provide them that therapy this year. And also my other why is, of course, loans, but specifically the VA loan, right? Because of veterans. And my next slide will actually explain to you what my why is when it comes to veterans. My father was living in Da Nang, Vietnam during the fall of Saigon. My mother lived in Saigon. My father left by helicopter, my mother by boat. It was U.S. soldiers who helped them get into the helicopter and on that boat. They met in Hong Kong, China. If it wasn't for U.S. soldiers, my parents may not have survived, met, and had me. And I wouldn't have what I have today. I might not even exist. Those U.S. soldiers are veterans now. Hopefully. I'm saying, I'm assuming that they would be veterans. They might still be active duty now. Who knows, right? But thank you, vets. I owe you my life. And I literally mean that if it wasn't for U.S. soldiers and those veterans who helped my parents, I would never even have been born. Okay, so I owe them my life. Okay, what is the VA home loan? The VA home loan is a mortgage guaranteed by the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs and issued by a private lender such as a bank, credit union, or mortgage company. The reason why I'm bringing this up because I think a lot of people think the VA is actually the people who actually lend the money. They do not. They actually guarantee the loan if something were to go wrong, like the loan were to default. So it's almost like they're the ones who provide the equity or down payment. That's why the lender, that's why the veteran does not have to provide it, because the VA is saying that we will guarantee it. So there is a down payment if needed. Okay. So I just want you guys to understand that. So it's us, mortgage people, who provide the funding, but it's, sorry about that. It's us who provide the funding, but it's the VA who guarantees it, right? So basically, they're the ones who provide the down payment. Okay, basically. So before I talk about the uh, before I talk about the actual fees, I want to talk about the opportunity, why you should focus, if you aren't doing it right now, on veterans, and why they should be your niche that you should focus on. Okay, millennials and Gen Z's pushed VA loans to a record in 2021. Millennials and Gen Z veterans accounted for more than half of all VA purchase loans in the record year for this historic benefit program, according to the National Mortgage News. Gen Z in particular is starting to make its presence felt in its markets across the country. So basically, they're saying that millennials and Gen Z veterans are the ones that are doing at least half of all VA loans, which was a record year in 2021. Okay. Non-veteran millennials struggle, whereas veteran millennials thrive. And of course, anyone who is in real estate knows that the biggest generation that's buying right now is millennials. Okay. So despite many non-military millennials having a tough time buying homes, often saddled with student debt and working to save for a down payment, millennial and Gen Z veterans accounted for half of all VA purchase loans in fiscal year 2020, according to Chicago Tribune. Okay. So many millennials are stuck on the sidelines because they don't have great credit, they don't have the savings for a down payment. They continued. Younger veterans and service members are really ahead of the curve when it comes to home buying compared with their civilian counterparts. Now, let me emphasize that. They're saying that a lot of millennials are saddled with student debt and they're working to save for a down payment. And they also don't have great credit, right? That's the thing with the VA loan. There's no student debt because of the GI Bill, right? Uh, the VA loan is zero down, so they don't need a down payment. And also, when it comes to credit, the VA actually has no credit score limit, right? That's a lender specific expectation, but the VA doesn't have a credit score requirement, so they actually can qualify people on a lower credit score than most loans. Okay, so on all three accounts, where millennials who are non-veterans struggling, the VA loan is already built uh, to basically go around that or not even be an issue. Okay. VA loans outperforms all other loans in 2021. Today, VA loans actually close at a higher rate than conventional mortgages. For all home purchases in June 2021, 70% of VA loans successfully closed compared to 51% of all mortgages, according to Ellie Mae, a mortgage application software company. Ellie Mae, they run Encompass, which is like the most widely used mortgage loan origination software. Okay, so they know the statistics. Okay, and they're being utilized more often as well. Data from the Department of Veterans show that the number of VA loans went up 8% year over year in 2021, marking the 10th consecutive year growth. So not only are they performing at a higher level, not only are more than half of the VA loans are millennials, but it's actually growing consecutively every year. So it's a record month for VA loans, and millennials are the ones who make up the most of it. Okay. VA loans are more flexible with buying power. And this is what made me love the VA loan when I first heard about it. And this is before everything. This is like back in 2016, right? So, I mean, millennials, whatever, I don't know. I just knew I liked the VA loan because it typically has lower interest rates than conventional mortgages. It allows for higher debt to income ratios and lower credit scores. And they don't require private mortgage insurance. If you can qualify, the VA loan is the best program out there. It's basically an FHA loan, but better, right? Because FHA requires 3.5% down, where the VA loan doesn't require anything down. And they have lower credit scores and they have lower interest rates. So more buying power, right? Because you're not paying money towards interest, you're paying money towards the house, right? And again, no down payment, right? So that's one of the reasons why I love the VA loan. Okay. To me, it made the most sense. It made the most sense to buy if you're a veteran. Okay. Uh, Opportunity is knocking, right? The military is USA's largest employer with over 3.1 million employees worldwide. Over 1.4 million VA loans were originated in 2021. I don't know why they have a dollar sign there. I need to take that out. Veteran homeowners exceed the national average by 20%. What that means is that if you compare civilians homeowners versus veteran homeowners, there's a larger population by 20% of veterans owning homes than civilians. Okay, so in general, the VA population is more likely to buy and own a house than the normal non-veteran population. Okay, military personnel continues to relocate every 2 to 5 years. Career service members move numerous times, repeat purchase business. And that basically means if you become a trusted advisor to a veteran, they'll probably use you multiple times because they're constantly relocating. Okay. Texas had, and I'm using Texas because I'm in Texas, but we had 1,435,787 veteran residents in 2021, and the number is climbing. Texas also had 34 billion of VA purchases in 2021, and 28.2% of Texas veterans have a service-connected disability. And the reason why that's important, because in states like Texas, and I think North Carolina is one that just became one, they will actually give you tax benefits if you have a service-connected disability, which a lot of veterans have. Okay. Um, Veteran home owner statistics, and this is pretty shocking to me. Okay. Only 24% of qualified veteran homeowners are currently using their VA home loan. That means out of 100 veterans out there, only 24 of them are using the VA loan. Okay. What's the out of the 76% doing? Okay. Less than 5 years ago, only 12% of veterans were using their VA loan benefits, but it is slowly growing due to growing awareness among internet savvy veterans and people like myself trying to get the word out. basically out of 100 veterans, only 12% of them are actually using the VA loan. So there's an opportunity for 88% of veterans out there who can buy homes that are not using the benefit. Okay. 33% of veterans that have a mortgage indicate they did not know about the VA program. So that blows my mind. That means 1/3 of veterans who have a mortgage right now, they did not even know there was a VA loan out there, right? And this is the reason why. 46% of veterans reported their lender had not brought up the VA loan program. So that means almost half of all the veterans who applied for a mortgage did not get any information about the VA loan from their lender, right? Why? From my perspective, two reasons. Number one, the lender doesn't know anything about VA loans. They're not educated about the VA loans. They're scared to mention it. They don't even want to get involved in it. And number two, maybe they also have the same misconceptions as other lenders, or not other lenders, well, maybe some lenders, but other real estate agents might have, that the VA loan is not a superior product when in fact it really is. Okay. And I've already busted a bunch of myths about it, but this one's about the fees. Okay. So before I move on, because I already know what the next slide is going to say, before I move on, does anyone have any questions on what I just talked about? I know I went really fast there, but it's just me just pitching you guys why you should be focusing on veterans. If you already understand that, then that's cool. I just wasted about 5 minutes of your time, so sorry about that. Okay, no questions. Okay, moving on. 3 mandatory questions, okay, that you should ask every single buyer. Number one, are you or your spouse a veteran? If they answer yes, then you ask the next question. If they answer no, then you move on. No big deal. Okay. But if you ask them, are you or your spouse a veteran? And they say yes, then the next question is, are you entitled to disability from the VA? And then whatever they say, the next question is, do you have your certificate of eligibility yet? Okay. Now, why would you ask this question, even though it's kind of awkward to ask every single person this question? Even if you're asking someone that you know for whatever reason, might not be a veteran, maybe they're from out of the country, whatever, I don't know, but maybe you just know they're not a veteran. It's good to ask that question as a habit, because even if it becomes a no, you just move on, right? But if it becomes a yes, and you bring up the VA loan and they don't know about it, and then you tell them it's 0% down, it will blow their mind. Okay. And if you start asking questions about them and their service, it'll actually make them feel that you're empathetic to veterans and that you are a true veteran advocate, because you're working to help them get the best out of their home buying experience. And that's what we talked about today, giving the best lending, buying, and selling experience, right? So if you talk to a veteran who doesn't know about the VA loan and you tell them, you're the hero. Okay, because you literally just saved them all the down payment that they were probably thinking about saving up or trying to collect just to buy a house, and you just told them that they don't need to pay it, because that's how the VA loan works. And again, 46% of lenders, or 46% of applicants, had lenders that did not mention the VA loan, and 33% of the veterans who have a mortgage did not know about the VA loan. So trust me, it's worth bringing it up. Okay. All right, cool. So again, the myth busting, we've actually, I'm going to just share real quick. Stop share. Make sure I'm adding everyone in who needs to be added. Okay, go. All right, I'm going to share again. Again, I do this class every week, and I've already busted these first 3 myths. One of them is 0 down, it makes a weak buyer. If you are watching this on YouTube, you can probably see a link on the top right of the screen to that particular class or videos about it. If number 2, VA loans are hard to get through underwriting. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll probably see the link somewhere on the right, and you'll probably see it in the description as well. And number 3, VA loans take longer to close, which again, I busted that myth as well. Again, link will be on the right or in the description. And if you guys are not watching this on YouTube, like on stream, whatever, there will be a follow-up with a link to the replays in the follow-up emails. Okay. So number 4, we're going to address the seller must pay the veteran fees. This is probably the most confusing, misunderstood, most how do I put this? People are just wrong. Okay, it's the most wrong part of the entire VA loan, I think, and that you almost becomes like the main reason why you don't want to accept the VA loan, or sellers don't want to accept the VA loan. Oh yeah, it's a VA buyer, but you might have to pay some of their fees. Okay, again, that is false. You don't have to pay any fees, just so you know. Okay, I'm going to show you how that's true. Okay, but there's a stigma behind it, and I'll explain to you why. Okay, and that way you can understand that for sure. Hold on, I forgot to share the thing. You'll see for sure that this is totally wrong. The seller must pay the veteran fees, which is absolutely incorrect. That's a false statement. Okay, Cheryl, thank you. I just shared the screen. Hopefully you see it now. I forgot to click share, so that's my bad. Again, the seller must pay the veteran fees. Okay. All right. So next slide. Myth. The seller must pay veteran fees. Okay. I'm putting my phone on mute. Okay. Truth. This is the facts. Okay. Chapter 8 of the VA Lender Handbook overview. The veteran can pay a maximum of, and I'm going to read you all this, not because I'm trying to bore you to death, but I want you to read, I want you to understand what exactly is written in the VA Lender Handbook. Okay. Is pretty simple English. Okay. Chapter 8 of the VA Lender Handbook overview, and you actually find the links to this online. Okay. You can Google it. The veteran can pay a maximum of reasonable to customary amounts of any or all itemized and charges designated by the VA, plus a 1% flat charge by the lender, plus reasonable discount points. This is what was originally in the handbook. Those 3 bullet points created this misconception or the perception that the seller has to pay for veteran fees. So it created a little bit of confusion. Okay. Because of this confusion, the VA released a clarification to outline allowable and non-allowable fees. Okay, it's from Circular or VA Circular 26-14-10. You can Google that and you can find it, but I actually put a copy in this presentation. Okay, the lender may charge the veteran a flat charge, right? A flat charge, a loan origination fee, not to exceed 1% of the loan amount. So basically, just so you understand, it means that the maximum a lender can charge is 1% of the loan amount, whatever that is. So if it's $100,000 loan, it's $1,000. If it's a $200,000 loan, it's $2,000. If it's a $400,000 loan, it's $4,000. If it's a $600,000 loan, it's $6,000. Okay, just so you know what that number is. Okay. The lender's flat charge is intended to cover all the lender's costs and services which are not reimbursable as itemized fees and charges. A non-refundable fee are specific to the property. Okay, like an appraisal. Like once the appraisal is done, you can't get a refund off that. Okay, once you do a water test or a well testing, you can't get a reimbursement off of that. Okay, so who pays for anything above 1%? Right? Well, the VA doesn't care. They don't tell you who pays it, just not the veteran. Okay, and this right here is where the seller gets stuck with the rest of the fees. Okay, and this is almost by default what happened. Now, it wasn't intended that way. It's just what naturally occurred. Okay. The circular also outlines a different method called the collective method. Okay. So there's 2 ways to set up the fees for the VA, for the lender on the VA loan. Okay. There's the flat fee or the 1% fee and the collective method where you can pay up to 1% of the loan amount on all fees. Okay. I'm going to break that down for you so it can be clearer. Okay. This is literally the circular I was talking about. Okay. You can read all this later on, but just I'm going to highlight the parts that's important. If the lender charges a full 1% loan, actually, you know what? I got a zoomed in version right here. This is the 1% flat origination fee method, which a lot of lenders uses. Okay. If a lender charges a full 1% loan origination fee, they cannot charge unallowable fees. Unallowable fees are those that are not expressively specified in 38 CFR 36.4313. Note, VA treats pest inspection fees the same as any other unallowable fee. And that's really the pain point. That's really what everyone gets hung up on. Oh my gosh, the seller has to pay the pest inspection fee, right? Which is only $100, just so you know. Okay. But that's the one thing that they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that, we have to use this VA loan because we have to pay for the pest inspection. That's literally where the hung up is. Or, okay, well, we have this offer, which is conventional, and then this offer, which is VA. It's the same thing, except for the fact that you got to pay for the pest inspection for the veteran, right? So in that case, which one would you choose? One where you get, the full amount that you're supposed to get, or the full amount minus the cost of this pest inspection fee? Obviously, you're going to choose them with the full amount, and no one can be mad at you about that. The veteran can't be mad at you about that. Of course, I would do the same thing. If I'm not a veteran, but I'm pretty sure veterans would feel the same way. Why would you take less money, right? So that makes a lot of sense. Okay, someone's asking a question. Let me see here real quick. Rob K says, today I will live in the moment unless it's unpleasant, in which I will eat a cookie. Okay, no problem, Rob. I really appreciate that. Okay, so that's the 1% flat origination fee method. Again, I'm gonna break it down. The lender may charge 1% loan origination fee, and they cannot charge anything that's unallowable. The pest inspection is considered an unallowable fee. So therefore, 1% plus you got to pay for the other stuff, right? But they cannot pay it. The collective method is if the lender charges $1,000 loan origination fee on a $100,000 loan, they have charged the maximum allowable origination fee and cannot charge additional unallowable fees, like the pest inspection, right? Such as a document preparation fee or pest inspection fee, like I said. However, if the lender charged $800 loan origination fee on a $100,000 loan, the lender may charge up to $200 in unallowable fees, such as document preparation fee or pest inspection fee. So again, let me show you the differences. Okay. 1% means the lender decides whatever the loan amount is, I'm charging 1%. Okay. And the VA says, okay, 1%, that's the most you can charge a veteran. So unallowable fees must be paid by someone else, right? That's the 1% flat origination fee. The collective method is, okay, I'm going to charge this veteran $800 for the loan, but the loan's $100,000. So that means we're not at 1%, we're at 80% of the maximum. So we have 20% left, which in this case is $200, and $200 will more than cover a pest inspection fee. Okay, so there's the flat origination fee, which uses the full 1%, or the collective method, which whatever the fee ends up being, you can add it up. And if it's more, then of course it kind of falls into the same origination fee method, the 1%. But if it's below, then you have that extra or excess or remainder or leftover or whatever you want to call it to pay for whatever fees you want, including the pest inspection fee. Okay, so in that particular part of the circular, it shows that the veteran can pay a pest inspection fee depending on how the fees are structured. Okay, so Cheryl says if you regularly work with veterans, put together a team that would do the pest inspection for free, there's no reason why the veteran should ever pay for that or sell it. And yes, I'm going to bring that up, and I really appreciate you bringing that up. By the way, Cheryl is a loan officer as well. So I love the fact that she's contributing because she's probably going to make my class better. So I thank you very much, Cheryl, for contributing. Okay, and you can unmute anytime as well. Okay, all right, and I put a link here because I'm going to share you guys the presentation so you can see for yourself what the actual VA government says about this particular part of the fees. Okay, the truth. Chapter 8 of the VA Lender Handbook. The following fees are always unallowed if 1% flat origination fee is charged. Again, that's method number 1. And I'm going to read these down because I want you to understand what they're saying. If you charge 1% as a lender, what they cannot pay. Okay, what's unallowed. Lender's inspection. It is not required on the appraisal / NOV, notice of value, if it cannot be charged to the veteran. Lender's appraisal. The veteran can only be charged for one appraisal unless the VA deemed a second appraisal mandatory. Settlement fee, escrow fee, closing fee, document preparation fee, underwriting fee, processing fee, application fee. A veteran can be charged upfront the cost of the appraisal and credit report to ensure the loan officer is not stuck with those fees if the veteran walks away from the deal. Pest inspection fee, and it's highlighted for a reason, okay? Because this is the one that everyone always gets hung up about, even though it's only $100, okay? It also acceptable for VA if the home inspection report includes it but says zero. This is exactly what Cheryl's talking about, right? So if you have an inspection or an inspector who's willing to do the pest inspection and not charge for it, like it's thrown in, then that is allowed. That's part of it, right? That makes it so that no one's paying for it, right? It's thrown in together. So that's why Cheryl talked about the team, and I'm gonna kind of gloss over that a little bit. But if you're in the right team, working with the right lender who's working with the right buyer's agent, you can literally put that deal together. Okay, so attorney fees if something other than title work, and assignment fees, copying fees, and email fees. Hold on real quick. My boss is actually texting me. Sorry, you guys are gonna be paused for like maybe 30 seconds. Just I don't want him to think I'm ghosting him. Yes, question mark. Okay, cool. All right. Before I move on, let me go back. Does anyone have questions about the truth? Does anyone have any questions about what was this is literally from the VA lender handbook. This is not something I made up. This is what it says in there. You can actually look it up and you can see I literally just copied and pasted what it said. I might have shortened some things, whatever, but um Cheryl says, thanks for having me. I always come away with a nugget or two. We make each other better friend. Yes, ma'am. Yes, we do, for sure. And of course, you being on the call, it makes me feel honored that you would even spend time listening to me try to pretend to be cool as you, right? So I appreciate that. Okay, so no questions. Okay, I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna make sure there's some people join. I'm gonna make sure everyone is allowed to answer questions or allowed to talk. Rob, you're even allowed to talk, sir. Even if you want to talk about cookies, you're allowed to talk. Okay. Okay, cool. All right, next slide. High level truth. So this, I want you to really, really hear this out because this is something that is not uh assumed. Hold on, this guy's telling me to call. He knows what I'm doing. I'm gonna show him that I'm actually in the middle of a Zoom call. He knows my schedule. So I was afraid that he had an emergency he needed to talk about because I do have loans going through. All right. High level truth. If a 1% flat origination fee is charged, then there's a list of unallowable fees that the veteran is not allowed to pay. And I just showed you that list. Okay. So I'm just reminding you that if the lender, whoever it is, decides to charge a 1% flat origination fee, then there's a list of unallowable fees that the veteran is not allowed to pay, including the pest inspection. Okay. A lot of lending mortgage companies charge a 1% fee. Many of them are online or larger veteran friendly lenders. That's why it's confusing. Again, I don't want to talk crap about anybody. I just want you to use your imagination. Okay. Which lender do you think is a large online lender or a larger veteran friendly lender that I might be referring to? They charge a 1% origination fee. And the reason why that's the reason why it's confusing, because they do so many loans charging 1% fee. It's almost like a standard because they do so many loans. It's kind of like Coke and Pepsi, right? What kind of Coke do you want? I want a Pepsi. What kind of Coke do you want? I want a Sprite. Coke is the dominating brand, so everyone uses the word Coke as a soft drink. But in reality, you're not asking for a Coke, you're asking for a soft drink, right? It's the same thing, right? Because these lenders do so many VA loans and they charge a 1% fee. It's almost like across the board that any VA loan is going to involve someone having to pay for the pest inspection. In a lot of cases, is the seller. So it's these lenders who charge a 1% fee that are forcing that kind of confusion, forcing the fact that someone needs to pay that fee. Okay, just so you understand the point of that. Okay, the VA is trying to make sure lenders, real estate agents, title companies collectively are not ripping off the veteran. So there's a maximum amount that the VA wants going into certain types of fees. I got a question. Let me stop here real quick. Yes, 100%. I'll have a coat. Which kind? Yes, exactly, Cheryl. That's literally what the comparison. It's the fact, again, whoever's the dominating brand or the dominating provider, they're going to kind of set the tone, and we're kind of telling you that they're setting the not. I wouldn't call it the wrong tone, but they're setting a tone. They're setting a tone that's creating a lot of misconception, right? It's like they're making you feel like that's the only way when that's not the only way. Okay. And Eric is asking a question. He says, I just passed by my brother-in-law on the integrating the termite inspection into his inspection. He owns a home inspection company. Absolutely, Eric. That's the best way to do it. And by doing that, you're serving the veterans and the buyers and the sellers and everyone involved when you do that, right? So thank you very much, Eric. That's great news. Okay. And every inspection person should do this. Okay. So again, there's a maximum amount that the VA wants going to a certain type of fee. This is why it's built this way. The pest inspection fee is a common talking point, and I'm bringing this up so much because that's literally the biggest question about it. Who's going to pay for this pest inspection fee because the veteran can't pay it? Well, that depends. It depends. If the veteran was charged a 1% origination fee, then you're right. The veteran cannot pay it. But if the veteran is paying collectively, he might actually have some extra, he or she might have some extra funds because it's up to 1%, and maybe they haven't been charged a full 1% yet. So they have some extra money and they can pay the pest inspection fee themselves. So again, it depends. Okay. But the pest inspection fee is common talking point regarding these guidelines, which is like only $100. Okay. And I wrote that in black and white so you guys understand. We are literally fighting and talking trash about the V loan because of $100 fee. Okay. I mean, call me, I'll pay it if I can. Okay. Some contracts are written by some brokerages and realtor associations, and they have it written that the seller must pay this fee. So what I mean by that is it's the misconception is so bad that some contracts are by default. If it's a VA loan, it says Pest inspection must be paid by the seller. It's like already in the freaking contract. They're not. It's not written in. It's already printed out that way. Okay, so that's how bad this misconception is. Okay, this is technically not a requirement. No one is requiring the seller to pay any fee. It's just the veteran cannot pay it if they're paying the 1% flat origination fee. If not, then it depends. Okay. If the veteran isn't being charged 1% by the lender, they can pay the fee. Okay. Also, it doesn't say in the guidelines that the seller has to pay. It can be anyone else, listing agent, buyer's agent, anybody involved in the transaction. Okay. So hopefully I made that point clear. Okay, because that is, to me, that is the biggest problem with the VA loan right now is people think that if it's a VA loan, you have to pay for seller fees. I mean, you have to pay for veteran fees as a seller, and it's simply not true 100% of the time. It depends on how the loan is structured. Okay, and someone just joined. I want to make sure that they're allowed in. And you can tell I'm kind of fired up about this because I hate misinformation. I hate fake news, if that's what you want to call it. Right? This is a lot of fake news going on, and this is probably to me the biggest fake news out there. Right? So, moving on to the next slide. No one has any questions. Okay, cool. This is to me the most important slide. Okay, and I actually got pissed off with myself because I was actually making duplicate slides, and I was using this slide, and I thought I made a duplicate, but I did it, and I erased half of this stuff, and I had to redo it all. So this might not be the perfect way of writing it. The first time was probably perfect. This is like 99% perfect. So I'm just using that as an anecdote to show you how upset I was about it because I really am passionate about getting this message to you guys. Okay, this is a not widely known but important truth that hopefully will become a truth to you after this call. Okay, not all lenders charge a 1% origination fee. Who you work with matters. Okay, the lender can structure a loan so the veteran uses a collective method to pay pest inspection versus a 1% flat origination fee. So what I mean by that is you have lender A who charges a 1% origination fee. And then you have lender B, like me, who doesn't charge a 1% origination fee. I actually charge a flat number, not a percentage, but a flat number. And that number might be lower than 1%. You see what I'm saying? It could be higher if it's a really small loan amount, but if it's a larger loan amount, it's going to definitely be lower. And I'll actually show an example. Okay. In some cases, the veteran will pay less in total fees using the collective method. So what I mean by that is even if the lender pays for the origination fee that's a flat number like me and charges for the and pays for the pest inspection fee and everything else, they actually might still pay less than 1% collectively. So they actually might be getting ripped off by paying the 1%. Okay. And I'm not afraid to say that because I've actually seen my coaches and other veteran mortgage advisors say that you are getting ripped off if you're doing a 1% fee for the VA loan, right? If you're a veteran and you're with a lender that's charging you 1%, you're getting ripped off. I'm not afraid to say that because other people have said that. Okay, I don't like to talk trash, but that's just the truth. Okay. Example: I charge $1,494 for origination. That means processing and underwriting. Okay. If you're in Texas, there's an attorney fee about like maybe 150 to 200 bucks. Okay. But that still goes under 2,000. If you have a 200,000 loan, then I'm actually charging less than 2,000 and you still have enough money to pay for an pest inspection fee. If you're at a $400,000 loan and a 1% is $4,000, I'm nowhere near 1%. I'm actually half of that. I'm half of a percent in terms of my fees. So you have more than $2,000 to pay for a $100 pest inspection fee. Okay. So again, let's do the math again. Okay. If you're getting charged 1% and you have a $400,000 loan, you're paying $4,000 for origination and someone has to pay for the pest inspection fee, which is ridiculous. Okay. So again, if you're getting charged 1% and you have a $400,000 loan as a veteran, you have to pay the $4,000 and someone else has to pay the pest inspection fee. But if you work with someone like myself who doesn't charge a 1% origination fee, and I'm not the only person that does this, most certified veteran mortgage advisors don't charge a 1% fee because we hate this fee, right? But if you work with one of us, we're going to charge you a flat number, not a percentage, a flat number. And anything above that, you can use to pay whatever fee you want, any unallowable fees, right? So if it's a $400,000 loan, I'm charging you $1,495. Let's say I charge you $200 for the attorney fee because that's something you got to pay for. That's in the neighborhood of $1,700. You still have $2,300 to work with. You can afford $100 pest inspection fee. Okay. So again, collective method, which a lot of VA lenders use as well. So it's not 100% true that you have to you as a seller will have to pay a pest inspection fee because the veteran can pay it depending on how the loan is structured. Okay. Veterans should understand that they would want to do this to be competitive against any non-VA loan offers. Again, the reason why the whole fee thing is designed because the VA is trying to protect the veteran. They don't want the veteran to get ripped off, right? But in this case, the veteran wouldn't even be ripped off, but the veteran might be like, yeah, I'll pay the $100 pest inspection fee because I want to be competitive against non-VA loan offers. It makes sense to me, right? Again, and what's $100? Okay, just I'm trying to bring this up because I don't even know why we're talking about this. It's so stupid that we're arguing over $100 pest inspection fee. Okay, but the VA loan offer can be structured so that versus a conventional offer, the seller will net the same amount. So what I mean by that is if you have a conventional offer, I can structure a VA loan offer and the seller will still get the same amount of money at the end of the day, no matter what loan they choose or no matter which buyer they choose. Okay. The only difference is one buyer served the country and the other possibly did not. That's the only difference. Okay. A VA loan can be structured in a way so that it's literally the exact same results for the seller. Okay. Realtor tip: who you work with matters. Ask, did the lender structure this? How did the lender structure this deal? Right. If you get a VA loan offer, ask. You can ask the borrower, maybe the buyer's agent knows, or you can ask the lender themselves. How did you structure this deal? Okay. Is it set up with a collective method so the veteran can pay the pest fee? Or is it set up with a 1% fee? If it's set up with a 1% fee, then yes, someone else other than the veteran has to pay the $100 pest inspection fee. And even if that's the case, that shouldn't stop you. But okay, if it stops you, fine. But it shouldn't stop you. It's $100. Okay. But you don't even have to deal with that if you work with someone who doesn't do a 1% origination fee. Okay. It's a team effort. And this is something that Cheryl kind of brought up. And I think everyone should think this way whenever they're working with veterans. Okay. Inspections can possibly include the pest inspection and throw it in as part of the entire inspection fee. Like Eric said, he's doing with his brother. He's suggesting his brother do. Throw it as part of the process. That way, there's no charge for the pest inspection fee. It's part of the inspection fee as a whole, which the veteran is allowed to pay for. Okay. Buyer's agent, make sure you work with a lender who knows the VA loan, like a certified veteran mortgage advisor, like myself. See, hello, right? Make sure you work with someone who knows what they're doing when it comes to VA loan. Why does 46% of veterans who have a mortgage say that their lender did not mention the VA loan? Because those veterans work with lenders who don't know shit about the VA loan. That's why. Okay. If I have a veteran in front of me, you damn sure can bet I will bring up the VA loan and I will sell the crap out of it because it is a superior loan to any other loan out there. So if you have a veteran buyer who has a lender who did not mention the VA loan, that lender needs to get another job, okay, or not be allowed to talk to any veterans. Okay, just I'm sorry, I'm really passionate about it. I think it's stupid that lenders don't bring it up to when they're talking to a veteran. Okay. All right. So takeaway. Does anyone have questions before I get on? Cheryl says, and most lenders that advertise they're veteran friendly are not trained. Okay. Yes. Yes. Again, I don't want to talk trash, and I'm glad you kind of brought that up, Cheryl, because I'll blame you if someone gets mad. But yes, veteran friendly lenders, right? I'm not going to mention names or whatever. They're not trained on the VA loan. They're trained to do certain things a certain way, and they're probably paid a salary or hourly or maybe not that much. I don't know. Again, I don't want to make stuff up. I don't want to talk trash, but they're not certified veteran mortgage advisors. Let's just put it that way. Okay. So takeaway, please note the VA treats the $100 pest inspection fee the same as any other unallowable fees. I'm bringing this up because the circular makes a huge point to notice this. The VA treats the $100 pest inspection fee, and I put $100. That's what I put that because it's the average $100. It might be a little bit less, it might be a little more, but I'm just trying to drive a point here. Okay, they treat the pest inspection fee the same as any unallowable fees. So if a lender, like the VA friendly ones or the veteran friendly ones, charges a 1% flat origination fee, the veteran cannot pay unallowable fees, including the $100 pest inspection fee, which created the misconception that all VA loans will cost the seller money and net them a lower amount, $100. Okay. If the lender uses a collective method like I do, the veteran can pay for the $100 pest inspection fee and anything else up to 1% of the total loan amount. So again, if they have a $400,000 loan, they have $4,000 to pay with. I charge $1,700, including the attorney's fees. They have $2,300 to do whatever they want. That includes paying the pest inspection fee, which allows the veteran to cover any fees as long as it doesn't go above 1% of the total loan amount. Okay, it's simple math, guys. Okay. This allows the VA loan offers that equates other offers, meaning when I say equate, I'm talking about the amount that's being offered for the purchase. Okay. So this allows VA loan offers that equate other loan offers like conventional to net their sellers the same amount, no matter which offer they choose between the two. So they can choose the VA loan from the veteran or the conventional loan from whoever, and they will net the same. They'll make the same amount of money. There's no difference. Because again, that's one of the reasons why you don't want the VA loan, supposedly, because it's going to give you less profit, which is not true. It depends. And I'm hoping that you guys understand that. Okay. Cheryl says, my point is that friendly isn't enough. Yes. Certified advisors know the rules inside and out. And if they need help, there's a whole community that will step in to help. Yes, Cheryl. Yes. Thank you very much. It is true. And we take pride in it. We take pride in being veteran advocates and specialists and learning about the VA loan, teaching classes and learning. I mean, I had to learn this before I taught it. Okay. So I actually spent time. Actually, I actually spent money and time, flew to places, stayed in hotels, talked to a bunch of people that I might not talk to on a regular basis because they're other lenders, right? I like lenders sometimes, okay? But I did that because I wanted to learn and absorb and steal their knowledge so I can teach you guys the truth and help the veteran, like we talked about earlier. Okay, giving them the best lending, buying, and selling experience possible because of the sacrifice they made for our country. Okay, so the biggest takeaway, and hopefully you already know this, why would you want your veteran buyer to use a lender who charges a 1% flat origination fee? It doesn't help them. It doesn't help the sellers. Okay, what I mean by that, it doesn't help them because they're at a disadvantage because they can't pay for fees that they really could pay if they were structured a different way with a different lender, right? And it doesn't help the sellers because the seller's like, well, I like the veteran, it's a fair offer, but I don't want to pay $100 for the pest inspection fee because I'd rather not pay that. So why not choose a conventional loan, right? That's the takeaway you should take from this. Okay, why would you want to work with a veteran buyer? I mean, why would you want your veteran buyer to work with a lender who charges a 1% flat origination fee? Okay, and again, I'm not afraid to say this. The whole point of this class is not to do this, but a lot of videos and a lot of training that I did with my coaches and certified veteran mortgage advisors, they literally say, if you run into a 1% flat origination fee VA lender, you should run away. Right? That's literally what they said. Okay. So I'm going to blame them because they're the one who told me that. And I'm just telling you what they told me. Okay. So the myth that the seller must pay the veteran fees, hopefully I clearly and loudly busted that myth. Okay. The seller does not have to pay any veteran fees, even if they charge a 1% fee. Someone else can pay the fee, but there's no law or guidelines saying the seller must pay any fee at all whatsoever. Okay. And I showed you why and how the seller doesn't have to pay. Okay. Does anyone have any questions or comments about that? You can unmute yourself. We're at about 58 minutes. So not quite an hour. Usually I give myself an hour to do these classes, but of course I want to answer questions as well. Does anybody? I'm gonna stay here a little awkwardly in silence to see if I can push anyone to ask a question or maybe contribute. And I'm not worried about this being a YouTube video because I'll just edit this part out. According to my clock, I still have 2 minutes before 12 o'clock, which is 1 hour. Okay, no questions. Okay, that's fair. Hopefully that means I just did a good job. Oh, wait, someone has a question. Yes. Georgette says, great training. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And I love it when you're on these calls because you always contribute, even if it's, just to say thank you or say hi or whatever. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. The VA home loan is a loan other buyers can only dream of obtaining. You've earned this right by serving our great nation, and it's my job to facilitate your dream of homeownership. Thank you for your service. And someone asked a question, so I'm not going to end yet. Cheryl says I have to dip for another webinar. Good job. Thanks for sharing your passion. Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate it. Please show up in any calls in the future. I would love it. Okay. So again, thank you for you guys for being on this call. I do believe that you guys do want to help serve our veterans with the best mortgage lending, buying, and real estate selling experience possible. And I want to thank you for being on this call and supporting our veterans. And I want to support any veterans that might be on this call. Thank you for your service. Okay. If you have any questions or you want to reach out to me, you can always call me 832-606-2193. You can text me 832-606-2193. You can email me at LLE. That's my first name, first initial L, and then the last name Lee, LE. So 3 letters at VanDykeMortgage.com. There's no E in Van Dyke. Okay. So it's just 6 letters, VANDYK Mortgage.com. Or you can go to LarryLee.com. That gives ways to contact me and, of course, get any resources that I may provide. Or if you, you forget everything that I tell you, you can always Google Larry the Mortgage Guy or Larry Lee or Larry Lee Lender. Larry Lee Lender Dallas, for sure you'll find me. Okay. I really appreciate you guys being on this call. And of course, if you have any questions, you can always call, text, email me anytime. And again, I appreciate you guys being on this call, and I will see you guys next week. This is Larry, the Mortgage Guy, your mortgage advisor and certified veteran mortgage advisor. I'm out. Really appreciate you guys being on this call. I'll see you guys later.